The sun rose gently over the rolling hills of Eswatini, stretching its golden fingers across the sky and bathing our small village in soft light. It was here at Pig's Peak, known as Speaky, where I was raised, in a home where the echoes of my twin sister's absence still lingered, a reminder that life is as fragile as it is precious. My name, Oyedwa, meant the only one amongst boys, a poignant tribute to the twin sister I never met, who had passed away during birth. She was my silent companion, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the resilience of the human spirit, but left a mark on my soul that never faded. You see, my mother, Musa Bono, was a woman who came to Eswatini under circumstances that weren't kind. Her life started full of promise, attending a prestigious boarding school in South Africa. She was the bright, ambitious girl who dreamt of more. My mom's life had begun with promise, attending a prestigious boarding school in South Africa. A charming young man appeared, luring her with promises of love and a fresh start, enticing her to quit school and escape with him to the big city. Ooh, the city! It was supposed to be the place where everything would finally come together. But instead, it became a maze of heartbreak, passionate rows, and dreams that shattered like glass. She already had 3 sons with the man. What followed was a turbulent relationship marked by passion, pain, and heartbreak. The relationship ended painfully, leaving her pregnant and broken. Whilst heavily pregnant and carrying the weight of her grief, my first brother was taken from us in the cruelest way, stolen by our father, vanishing without a trace despite her best efforts to find him, tarnishing any hope of ever meeting him. She gave birth to twins, but only one survived, which was me. With no stable source of income and an increasing reliance on alcohol to dull her pain, my mom struggled to take care of us, all her 3 left children. Her parents, Gogo Bono and Baba Bono, had moved to Eswatini during the apartheid era, displaced and searching for a place to rebuild their lives. When my mother met another man and started a new family, Gogo and Baba Bono stepped in to raise us. And so Sonke, Bonke, and I were whisked away from our lives in South Africa to the quiet village of Eswatini to live with our grandparents, who would become our anchors in a stormy sea of uncertainty. Gogo Bono, with her unshakable strength, became the bedrock of our lives, while Baba Bono instilled discipline in us with a wisdom that only age can bring. Gogo's stories held the key to our resilience. She was a storyteller, weaving tales of the past into lessons of survival, teaching us that no matter how rough life gets, you stand tall and you find the strength to keep going. "You are the light in our family, my girl," Gogo would say, stroking my rough brownish hair as we sat by the fire. "One day you will do things we could never dream of." I remember her voice full of hope and love, and it made me feel like I had wings. As for my brothers, Sonke and Bonke, they had their own battles. Academically, they were like 2 fish swimming against the current, always struggling to stay afloat, but their hearts were pure. They were a team, leaning on each other when life got tough. As for me, well, let's just say I was a little different. I was the odd one out, always asking questions and getting answers that made the teachers shake their heads in wonder. While my brothers were trying to avoid homework, I was the one who'd stay up late studying by the dim light of a kerosene lamp, earning praise and the occasional, "Why can't you be more like her?" directed at Sonke and Bonke. I couldn't help but grin, knowing full well I was the teacher's pet, not that I ever let it go to my head, of course. But even in my brilliance, I felt a certain distance between us. There was a quiet understanding that I carried a bigger purpose, a feeling Gogo Bono nurtured every time she spoke of our family's strength. It wasn't just the survival that was important, it was how we thrived, even in the face of everything life threw at us. Then tragedy struck. Baba Bono passed away and the world tilted on its axis. The pillar of wisdom and calm was gone, leaving an emptiness that nothing could fill. But Gogo Bono? She didn't flinch. She carried on, working tirelessly to make sure we had enough to eat and that we could still go to school, even if it meant taking on 100-odd jobs. I saw in her not just a grandmother, but a warrior. Her strength was unshakable. As I grew older, I realized just how much Gogo had sacrificed for us. She had given up so much of herself, and all of that love and care became the driving force behind my determination to succeed. I couldn't let it all go to waste. I wasn't just studying for a good grade anymore, I was studying for her, for the family that had poured everything into me. I remember sitting by the fire one evening, Gogo Bono looking at me with pride. "You've got the spark, my girl," she said, and I knew then that her belief in me would never fade. There were still shadows in my life, of course, the mystery of my missing older brother, the unanswered questions that haunted my dreams. But every night I held on to the strength of my family's stories, and with each passing day, I understood more and more that we were survivors, not just of life's battles, but of each other. And who knows, maybe one day my brother will come walking through the door, and we'll all have a good laugh, talking about how life tried to beat us down but never succeeded. After all, if Gogo Bono can raise 3 rowdy kids, work her fingers to the bone, and still find time to tell stories, what can't we do? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications like comment for the follow-up Life of Oyedwa,